have question number 11, that is identify each part. We have to identify each part of flowering plant and write whether it is haploid or diploid. Basically, from these options, we have to choose each and every option and we have to tell the ploidy level of each of these parts or organisms or whatever we are given on the screen. So first, if we're talking about the A, that is ovary. So we have to find that whether the ovary is actually haploid in nature or diploid in nature. Now what is haploid or diploid in nature? That means we have to tell whether the organism or whether the part given to us to identify is actually having a full set of chromosome or a half set of chromosome. If the cells of any part or any organism is containing only half set of chromosome, then it is said to be haploid in nature. And if any cell or if every cell of that part or of organism is actually having full set of chromosome, that means the part or that individual is known as diploid in nature. For example, if we talk about the human body, if we talk about our body, each and every cell of our body is actually diploid in nature. Why it is diploid? Because we have a full set of chromosome that is fixed in number. That means we have, or each and every cell of our body have 46 number of chromosomes or 23 pair of chromosomes. And the gametes produced in our primary sex organs, that is testis and ovary. If we talk about the gametic formation, the gametes, that is ovum and sperms, they are not diploid. The cells in our body, the main cells, the gamete cells are not diploid, as they are not diploid because as they are containing only half set of chromosomes, that is 23 number of chromosomes only. Why this is so? Because the gametic formation is set just like that to maintain the consistent number of chromosomes in a new organism or in a new offsprings. Alright, now we have to identify the ploidy level of each of these things given on the screen. So first we have is ovary. In case of plants we are talking about, alright, flowering plants. So we know that ovary is a part of a flower, alright. Ovary first of all is a part of a female reproductive part. We know that female reproductive part is contained or retained on the flower. Alright, flower is the reproductive structure of angiospermic plants or of all flowering plants. Flower is a reproductive structure in which the female reproductive organ or female reproductive structure and male reproductive structure retain on it. If we talk about the female reproductive structure or female reproductive organ in a flower, that is pistil or carpel. The pistil or carpel, which is a female reproductive organ, is made up of three parts. That is stigma, style and ovary. Stigma, style and ovary. So stigma, style, ovary or whole ovary is actually part of female reproductive organ. Female reproductive organ is pertained on the flower. Flower is a structure on the sporophytic plant body which is diploid in nature. The whole body of plant, angiospermic plants or flowering plants is actually sporophyte, that is diploid in nature. So if ovary is not a gamete and is part of the body and is part of the flowering plant only, then it will be diploid in nature because this is a part of plant and each and every cell of a plant, each and every cell of a flowering plant is diploid in nature. So hence ovary is also diploid in nature. Ovary is also diploid in nature. If we talk about anther, so we know that all flowering plants or all angiospermic plants have flowers as their reproductive structure, inside which we find the male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ. We have talked about the female one. Now let's come towards the male reproductive organ. We know that the male reproductive organ is known as stamen. That stamen, being a male reproductive part of a plant, is containing two parts in it, anther and filament. Anther and filament compose together to form a stamen and is a part of a plant only. It is not a gamete. Inside anther, some special cells are there which are going to give rise to male gametophyte and male gametes, but the anther is actually a part of whole plant. And we know that if plant body, if we talk about the ploidy level of a plant body, it is diploid in nature, and if each and every cell of a plant body is diploid in nature, then anther, being the part of a flowering plant, it is also diploid in nature. So anther is also diploid in nature. Alright. Third is egg. Now egg, pollen grains and male gametes, sperms, ovum, all these are known as gametes. And every time if we talk about the gametes are always haploid. The gametes are always haploid in case of diploid organism also. So if we talk about the organisms like us humans, if we talk about the plants like angiospermic plants or flowering plants, the main plant body or the main human body is actually diploid, because each and every cell of a human body and each and every cell of a plant body is diploid or containing full set of chromosome in them. But they produces gamete for their fertilization to continue their species, So when they form gametes, when we form gametes such as egg or ovum and sperm cells in case of male humans, when plants also make gametes such as egg and male gametes, they form gametes in haploid form. That means the gamete we are going to produce are containing only half a set of chromosomes. Hence it is universally accepted, it is universal truth that always gametes, without exception, the gametes are always haploid in nature. So gamete, egg is a female gamete, hence it is haploid. It is haploid. So if we talk about the pollens, so pollens are also haploid in nature. Why they are haploid in nature? Let's understand this. Why pollens are haploid in nature? As they are not gametes, and I said that only gametes are the haploid structures in the sporophytic or a diploid body. Yes, gametes are always haploid, but a gametophyte in case of flowering plants are also haploid. So pollen grain in case of flowering plants. In case of flowering plants or angiospermic plants, first of all, what is pollen grain or pollen? Pollen grain or pollen? It is male. It is male gametophyte. It is male gametophyte, which is produced from the meiotic division. Meiotic division of pollen mother cells or microspore mother cells present in the microsporangia of an anther. We know that if we talk about the male reproductive organ in case of flowering plants or angiospermic plants, this is known as stamen. This is bilobed anther. We have, this is filament. Now we know that in this bilobed anther we have four sporangia, four sac-like structures known as microsporangias. We have inside the anther we have four microsporangia in which there are special kind of cells or tissues present, that is sporogenous tissue. The special kind of cells in these sporogenous tissues is known as pollen mother cells or microspore mother cells. These microspore mother cells are diploid in nature as it is part of anther only. But these microspore mother cells or PMC, that is pollen mother cell, undergoes a meiotic division, reductional division to form these pollens, So if any cell is undergoing meiotic division to form anything, then the thing which is formed from the meiotic division will always be haploid, So this is clear that pollen grain is a male gametophyte. It is a male gametophyte through which the male gametes are going to be formed. But this pollen grain is also haploid in nature, and it produces male gamete with the help of mitotic division. Mitotic division, as it is haploid and gametes are always haploid. So to form haploid gametes, pollen will undergo mitotic division to form haploid gamete, but this is haploid. This one is haploid because it is formed, or it is result from the meiotic divisions of PMC or microspore mother cells occurring in the sporangia, microsporangia of a anther. So pollen grains are male gametophyte and they are haploid. They are haploid. Male gamete are always haploid. So male gametes are haploid. No doubt any gamete, either it may be male or female, gametes are always haploid. Pollen grain is a male gametophyte, you have to remember, it is a male gametophyte. That means a structure which is going to give rise to male gamete. Alright, male gametophyte which is haploid in nature, it is going to form male gamete with the help of mitotic division. Mitotic division will occur in the generative cell of a pollen grain, and it will form two male haploid gametes. The last one we have is a zygote, and we know that zygote universally is a unicelled structure which is diploid in nature. So zygote is diploid in nature. That means it is having full set of chromosome and is diploid in nature. So this is the complete solution of question number 11.